94. Boston, 2nd March 1896. Dear Sarada, your letter informed me of everything, but I note that you do not so much as refer to the cable I sent about the celebration. The dictionary that Shashi sent a few months ago has not arrived so far. I am going to England soon. Sharat need not come now at all, for I am myself going to England. I do not want people to take such a long time to make up their minds. I did not invite him for a European tour, and I do not have the money either, so ask him not to come, and none else need. On perusal of your letter on Tibet, I came to lose all regard for your common sense. In the first place, it is nonsense to say that Notovich's book is genuine. Did you see any original copy, or bring it to India? Secondly, you say you saw in the Kailas Mutt the portrait of Jesus and the Samaritan woman. How do you know that it was Jesus' portrait, and not that of a man in the street? Even taking it for granted, how do you know that it was not put up in the said mutt by someone who was a Christian? And your opinions on the Tibetans too are unsound. You did not certainly see the heart of Tibet, but only a fringe of the trade route. In places like those, only the dregs of a nation are to be met. If on seeing the China Bazaar and Bara Bazaar quarters of Calcutta, anybody called every Bengali a liar, would that be correct? Consult Shashi properly when writing any article. What you need is only obedience. Yours affectionately, Vivekananda. 95. Indiana Avenue, Chicago, Illinois, 6th April 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, your kind note was duly received. I had beautiful visits with my friends and have already held several classes. I shall have a few more and then start on Thursday. Everything has been well arranged here, thanks to the kindness of Miss Adams. She is so good and kind. I am suffering from slight fever the last 2 days, so I can't write a long letter. My love to all in Boston. Yours with kind regards, Vivekananda. 96. 124 East, 44th Street, New York, 14th April 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, here is a curious person who comes to me with a letter from Bombay. He is a practical mechanic, and his one idea is to see cutlery and other iron manufactories in this country. I do not know anything about him, but even if he be a rogue, I like very much to foster this sort of adventurous spirit among my countrymen. He has money enough to pay his way. Now, if with all caution testing of his genuineness of spirit, you feel satisfied, all he wants is to get some opportunities of seeing these manufactories. I hope he is true and that you can manage to help him in this. Yours with kind regards, Vivekananda. 97. New York, 14th April 1896. Dear Sarada, glad to hear everything in your letter. I have got news that Sharat arrived safe. I am in receipt of your letter and the copy of the Indian Mirror. Your contribution is good. Go on writing regularly. It is very easy to search for faults, but the characteristic of a saint lies in looking for merits. Never forget this. You need a little business faculty. Now what you want is organization. That requires strict obedience and division of labor. I shall write out everything in every particular from England, for which I start tomorrow. I am determined to make you decent workers, thoroughly organized. The term friend can be used with all. In the English language, you have not that sort of cringing politeness common in Bengali, and such Bengali terms translated into English become ridiculous. That Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was God, and all that sort of thing, has no go in countries like this. M has a tendency to put that stuff down everybody's throat, but that will make our movement a little sect. You keep aloof from such attempts. At the same time, if people worship him as God, no harm. Neither encourage nor discourage. The masses will always have the person, the higher ones the principle. We want both. But principles are universal, not persons. Therefore, stick to the principles he taught. Let people think whatever they like of his person. Truce to all quarrels and jealousies and bigotry. These will spoil everything. But many that are first shall be last, and the last first. Mad bhakta nanchaye bhaktaste me bhaktatama mataha. Those who are the devotees of my devotees are my best devotees. Yours affectionately, Vivekananda. 98. 3 St. George's Road, London, 30th May 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, Day before yesterday, I had a fine visit with Professor Max Muller. He is a saintly man and looks like a young man in spite of his 70 years, and his face is without a wrinkle. I wish I had half his love for India and Vedanta. At the same time, he is a friend of yoga too and believes in it. Only he has no patience with humbugs. Above all, his reverence for Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is extreme, and he has written an article on him for the 19th century. He asked me, "What are you doing to make him known to the world?" Ramakrishna has charmed him for years. Is it not good news? Things are going on here slowly but steadily. I am to begin from next Sunday my public lectures. Yours ever in grateful affection, Vivekananda. 99. 63 St. George's Road, London, Southwest, 5th June 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, the Raja Yoga book is going on splendidly. Saradananda goes to the States soon. I do not like anyone whom I love to become a lawyer, although my father was one. My master was against it, and I believe that that family is sure to come to grief where there are several lawyers. Our country is full of them. The universities turn them out by the hundreds. What my nation wants is pluck and scientific genius. So I want Mohan to be an electrician. Even if he fails in life, still I will have the satisfaction that he strove to become great and really useful to his country. In America alone, there is that something in the air which brings out whatever is best in everyone. I want him to be daring, bold, and to struggle to cut a new path for himself and his nation. An electrical engineer can make a living in India. Yours with love, Vivekananda. P.S. Goodwin is writing to you this mail with reference to a magazine in America. I think something of the sort is necessary to keep the work together, and shall of course do all that I can to help it on in the line he suggests. I think it very probable that he will come over with Saradananda. 100. 63 St. George's Road, London, Southwest, 24th June 1896. Dear Shashi, Max Muller wants all the sayings of Sri Ramakrishna classified, that is, all on karma in one place, on vairagya in another place, so on bhakti, jnana, etc., etc. You must undertake to do this forthwith. He must take care to present only the universal aspect of his teachings. Sharat starts for America tomorrow. The work here is coming to a head. We have already got funds to start a London centre. Next month I go to Switzerland to pass a month or two there, then I shall return to London. What will be the good of my going home? This London is the hub of the world. The heart of India is here. How can I leave without laying a sure foundation here? Nonsense. For the present, I shall have Kali here. Tell him to be ready. We want great spirit, tremendous energy, and boundless enthusiasm. No womanishness will do. Try to go on exactly as I wrote to you in my last. We want organization. Organization is power, and the secret of this is obedience. Yours affectionately, Vivekananda. 101. Highview, Caversham, Reading, 3rd July 1896. Dear Shashi, send Kali to England as soon as you get this letter. He will have to bring some books for me. I have only got Rig Veda Samhita. Ask him to bring the Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Samhita, as many of the Brahmanas as he can get, beginning with the Shatapatha, some of the Sutras, and Yaska's Nirukta. Let there be no delay as in Sharat's case, but let Kali come at once. Sharat has gone to America as he had no work to do here. That is to say, he was late by 6 months, and then when he came, I was here. Yours affectionately, Vivekananda. 102. 63 St. George's Road, London, Southwest, 6th July 1896. Dear Frankincense, things are going on with me very well on this side of the Atlantic. The Sunday lectures were quite successful, so were the classes. The season has ended and I too am thoroughly exhausted. I am going to make a tour in Switzerland with Miss Muller. The Galsworthys have been very, very kind. Jo brought them round splendidly. I simply admire Jo in her tact and quiet way. She is a feminine statesman or woman. She can wield a kingdom. I have seldom seen such strong yet good common sense in a human being. I will return next autumn and take up the work in America. The night before last I was at a party at Mrs. Martin's, about whom you must already know a good deal from Jo. Well, the work is growing silently, yet surely in England. Almost every other man or woman came to me and talked about the work. The British Empire, with all its drawbacks, is the greatest machine that ever existed for the dissemination of ideas. I mean to put my ideas in the center of this machine, and they will spread all over the world. Of course, all great work is slow, and the difficulties are too many, especially as we Hindus are the conquered race. Yet, that is the very reason why it is bound to work, for spiritual ideas have always come from the downtrodden. Jews overwhelmed the Roman Empire with their spiritual ideals. You will be pleased to know that I am also learning my lessons every day in patience and, above all, in sympathy. I think I am beginning to see the divine, even inside the high and mighty Anglo Indians. I think I am slowly approaching to that state when I should be able to love the very devil himself, if there were any. At 20 years of age, I was the most unsympathetic, uncompromising fanatic. I would not walk on the footpath on the theatre side of the streets in Calcutta. At 33, I can live in the same house with prostitutes and never would think of saying a word of reproach to them. Is it degenerate? Or is it that I am broadening out into the universal love which is the Lord Himself? Again, I have heard that if one does not see the evil round him, he cannot do good work. He lapses into a sort of fatalism. I do not see that. On the other hand, my power of work is immensely increasing and becoming immensely effective. Some days I get into a sort of ecstasy. I feel that I must bless everyone, everything, love and embrace everything. And I do see that evil is a delusion. I am in one of these moods now, dear Francis, and I'm actually shedding tears of joy at the thought of you and Mrs. Legate's love and kindness to me. I bless the day I was born. I have had so much of kindness and love here, and that love infinite that brought me into being has guarded every one of my actions, good or bad. Don't be frightened. For what am I? What was I ever but a tool in His hands, for whose service I have given up everything, my beloved ones, my joys, my life. He is my playful darling. I am His playfellow. There is neither rhyme nor reason in the universe. That reason binds Him. He, the playful one, is playing these tears and laughters over all parts of the play. Great fun, as Joe says. It is a funny world, and the funniest chap you ever saw is He, the beloved infinite. Fun, is it not? Brotherhood or playmatehood. A school of romping children let out to play in this playground of the world. Isn't it? Whom to praise, whom to blame? It is all His play. They want explanations, but how can you explain Him? He is brainless, nor has He any reason. He is fooling us with little brains and reason, but this time He won't find me napping. I have learnt a thing or two. Beyond reason and learning and talking is the feeling, the love, the beloved. I, Sake, fill up the cup and we will be mad. Yours ever in madness, Vivekananda. 103, 63 St. George's Road, London Southwest, 8th July 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, the English people are very generous. In 3 minutes' time the other evening, my class raised £150 for the new quarters for next autumn's work. They would have given £500 on the spot if wanted, but we want to go slow and not rush into expense. There will be many hands here to carry on the work, and they understand a bit of renunciation here, the deep English character. Yours with best wishes, Vivekananda. 104. Saas-Grund, Switzerland, 25th July 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, I want to forget the world entirely at least for the next 2 months and practice hard. That is my rest. The mountains and snow have a beautifully quieting influence on me, and I am getting better sleep here than for a long time. My love to all friends. Yours, etc., Vivekananda. 105. Care of E.T. Sturdy, Esquire, Highview, Caversham, Reading, 5th August 1896. Dear Saji, many thanks for your kind greetings. I have an inquiry to make. If you kindly forward me the information I seek, I would be much obliged. I want to start a mutt at Almora, or near Almora rather. I have heard that there was a certain Mr. Ramsay who lived in a bungalow near Almora, and that he had a garden round his bungalow. Can't it be bought? What is the price? If not to be bought, can it be rented? Do you know of any suitable place near Almora where I can build my monastery with a garden, etc.? I would rather like to have a hill all to myself. Hoping to get an early reply, I remain with blessings and love to you and all the rest of my friends in Almora. Vivekananda. 106. Lake Lucerne, Switzerland, 23rd August 1896. My dear Shashi, today I received a letter from Ramdayal Babu in which he writes that many public women attend the Ramakrishna Anniversary Festival at Dakshineshwar, which makes many less inclined to go there. Moreover, in his opinion, one day should be appointed for men and another for women. My decision on the point is this. 1. If public women are not allowed to go to such a great place of pilgrimage as Dakshineshwar, where else shall they go to? It is for the sinful that the Lord manifests himself specially, not so much for the virtuous. 2. Let distinctions of sex, caste, wealth, learning, and the whole host of them, which are so many gateways to hell, be confined to the world alone. If such distinctions persist in holy places of pilgrimage, where then lies the difference between them and hell itself? 3. Ours is a gigantic city of Jagannatha, where those who have sinned and those who have not, the saintly and the vicious, men and women and children, irrespective of age, all have equal right. That for one day at least in the year, thousands of men and women get rid of the sense of sin and ideas of distinction and sing and hear the name of the Lord is in itself a supreme good. 4. If even in a place of pilgrimage, people's tendency to evil be not curbed for one day, the fault lies with you, not them. Create such a huge tidal wave of spirituality that whatever people come near will be swept away. 5. Those who, even in a chapel, would think this is a public woman, that man is of a low caste, a third is poor, and yet another belongs to the masses. The less be the number of such people, that is, whom you call gentlemen, the better. Will they who look to the caste, sex, or profession of bhaktas appreciate our Lord? I pray to the Lord that hundreds of public women may come and bow their heads at his feet. It does not matter if not one gentleman comes. Come public women, come drunkards, come thieves and all. His gate is open to all. It is easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. Never let such cruel, demoniacal ideas have a place in your mind. 6. But then some social vigilance is needed. How are we to do that? A few men, old men preferably, should take charge as the warders for the day. They will make circuits round the scene of the festival, and in case they find any man or woman showing impropriety of speech or conduct, they will at once expel them from the garden. But so long as they behave like good men and women, they are bhaktas and are to be respected, be they men or women, honest citizens or unchaste. I am at present travelling in Switzerland and shall soon go to Germany to see Professor Deussen. I shall return to England from there about the 23rd or 24th September, and the next winter will find me back in my country. My love to you and all. Yours, etc., Vivekananda. 107. Lucerne, Switzerland, 23rd August 1896. Dear Mrs. Bull, I received your last today. By this time you must have received my receipt of £5 you sent. I do not know what membership you mean. I have no objection to have my name to be put on the list of membership of any society. As for Sturdy, I do not know what his opinions are. I am now travelling in Switzerland. From hence I go to Germany, then to England, and next winter to India. I am very glad to hear that Saradananda and Goodwin are doing good work in the US. As for me, I do not lay any claim to that £500 for any work. I think I have worked enough. I am now going to retire. I have sent for another man from India who will join me next month. I have begun the work. Let others work it out. So you see, to set the work going on, I had to touch money and property for a time. Now I am sure my part of the work is done, and I have no more interest in Vedanta or any philosophy in the world or the work itself. I am getting ready to depart to return no more to this hell, this world. Even its religious utility is beginning to pall me. May Mother gather me soon to herself, never to come back any more. These works and doing good, etc. are just a little exercise to cleanse the mind. I had enough of it. This world will be world ever and always. What we are, so we see it. Who works? Whose work? There is no world. It is God Himself. In delusion we call it world. Neither I, nor thou, nor you. It is all He, the Lord, all one. So I do not want anything to do about money matters from this time. It is your money. You spend what comes to you just as you like, and blessings follow you. Yours in the Lord, Vivekananda. P.S. I have entire sympathy with the work of Dr. Jains and have written him so. If Goodwin and Saradananda can speed the work in US, Godspeed to them. They are in no way bound to me or to Sturdy or to anybody else. It was an awful mistake in the Greenacre program that it was printed that Saradananda was there by the kind permission, leave of absence from England of Sturdy. Who is Sturdy or anybody else to permit a sannyasin? Sturdy himself laughed at it and was sorry too. It was a piece of folly, nothing short of that. It was an insult to Sturdy and would have proved serious for my work if it had reached India. Fortunately, I tore all those notices to pieces and threw them into the gutter, and wondered whether it was the celebrated Yankee manners the English people delight in talking about. Even so, I am no master to any sannyasin in this world. They do whatever it suits them, and if I can help them, that is all my connection with them. I have given up the bondage of iron, the family tie. I am not to take up the golden chain of religious brotherhood. I am free, must always be free. I wish everyone to be free, free as the air. If New York needs Vedanta, or Boston, or any other place in the US, it must receive them and keep them and provide for them. As for me, I am as good as retired. I have played my part in the world.